This is the most famous Japanese life philosophy on the internet. 4 circles: what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, what you are good at. And in the middle, Ikigai, your reason for living. There is just one problem. No Japanese person made this. It was drawn by a Spanish astrologer and renamed by a British blogger who had watched exactly one TED Talk. I live in Japan, and today I want to show you where this diagram really came from, what Ikigai actually means here, and why the real version might quietly change how you think about your entire life. This is Kokoro Lab. Let's fix this. 2011, Barcelona. An astrologer named Andres Zuzunaga draws a Venn diagram, 4 circles. In the middle, one word, proposito, purpose. It is a career reflection tool. It has nothing to do with Japan. The word Ikigai appears nowhere. 2012, the diagram gets published in a Spanish self-help book. 2014, a blogger in Guernsey named Marc Winn watches a TED Talk about why people in Okinawa live so long. The speaker mentions Ikigai, a reason to wake up in the morning. And Marc has an idea. He takes Zuzunaga's purpose diagram and swaps one word. Purpose becomes Ikigai. Those are his own words, by the way. Quote, "I changed one word on a diagram and shared a new meme with the world. That meme has now been seen by tens of millions of people. It is in corporate workshops, career coaching, LinkedIn posts. It is even printed inside the best-selling Ikigai book on Earth, written, incidentally, by 2 authors who are also not Japanese. One word, one swap, and a Spanish astrology chart became the world's understanding of a Japanese philosophy. So what does the word really mean? Ikigai is 2 parts. Iki, to live. Gai, worth. What makes life feel worth living? That is it. That is the whole concept. No circles, no intersection, no business model. And here is the part that surprises people. In Japan, your Ikigai does not have to be your job. It does not have to be impressive. It does not have to make money. At all. Ask people here and you will hear things like, my morning coffee, my garden, walking my dog by the river, my grandkids on Sunday, the bath at the end of the day. The neuroscientist Ken Mogi, who wrote one of the only English Ikigai books by an actual Japanese author, describes it almost as the opposite of the diagram. Ikigai is not one perfect point where 4 circles overlap. It is a spectrum, small joys and big purpose, private moments and public work. All of it counts. All of it is Ikigai. I will give you mine. I run a small company here in Yokohama. And honestly, my Ikigai this month is not the company. It is the first iced coffee on a humid morning before the emails start. That counts. Here, that fully counts. Notice what that does. The diagram asks, what single thing justifies your existence? Japan asks, what made today feel worth it? Those are very different questions, and only one of them can be answered by a normal human on a Tuesday. Now, you might say, fine, the diagram is not authentic, but it is useful. Does the origin really matter? I think it does, because the diagram smuggles in one very Western idea, that your reason for living must also be your paycheck. Look at the circles again. What you can be paid for is 1/4 of your existence, according to this chart. If your deepest joy earns nothing, the diagram says you have not found your Ikigai yet. Keep searching. Keep optimizing. That is not a philosophy. That is a job interview. And it sets an impossible bar. Passion, mission, vocation, and profession, all perfectly aligned in one activity, forever. Almost nobody on earth lives at that intersection. So people conclude something is wrong with them. The tool designed to give life meaning quietly tells most people their life is missing it. The Japanese version has no such trap. The word for a hobby that earns 0 yen and delights you completely? Ikigai. The word for loving a job that the world does not particularly need? Also, Ikigai. There is no failure state. Here is the twist. Strip away the fake diagram, and what remains is not soft. It might be the most evidence-backed idea in this whole genre. In 2008, researchers at Tohoku University published something remarkable. The Ohsaki Study. They had followed more than 43,000 Japanese adults for about 7 years. Everyone was asked one question at the start. Do you have Ikigai in your life? Yes or no? 7 years later, the people who had answered no were dying at roughly 1.5 times the rate of the people who said yes, even after adjusting for age, health, smoking, everything. The gap came mostly from cardiovascular disease, not cancer. Something about having a reason to get up in the morning seems to protect the heart. Read that again. Not, do you monetize your passion? Not, have you found the intersection of 4 circles? Just, is there something that makes your life feel worth living? A cup of coffee can be a yes, and a yes is associated with living longer. So forget the diagram. Try the Japanese version this week. One small practice. Tonight, ask yourself one question. What made today feel worth it? Name one thing, however small. That is not a warm-up for finding your real Ikigai. According to the culture that invented the word, that is your Ikigai. Collect those. Protect those. Let some of them grow into bigger things if they want to. Or not. You do not need 4 circles. You need one honest answer a day. I am making a whole series like this. The Japanese concepts the internet keeps getting wrong, explained from inside Japan. Next up is a word you have probably never heard, for something you do every single day. Kuki wo yomu, reading the air. Subscribe so you do not miss it. And tell me in the comments, what made today worth it for you? I read everything.